Hello and welcome to this edition of Hidden Literature. For those of you who don't already know, my name is Alan Gregg and I am the teacher at Oxford International Language School, Crotone. Today we're going to talk about William Wordsworth. First, his life and education. Everyone knows William Wordsworth was born in April 1770 in Cockermouth, Cumberland. From the very beginning, he was associated with that region, which he loved more than any other. And except for brief stays in Germany and Italy, he never left his beloved Lake Country. His personal history was uneventful, but the excitement in his life took place on an intellectual level. He found ideas more exciting than any other thing. Not everyone knows that in 1783, his father died, and the young Wordsworth became an orphan at 13. Before his death, his father named his own brother and his wife's elder brother as joint guardians of the children. Their uncle proved to be hostile and insensitive toward them, and never stopped reminding them of their poverty, and even seems to have encouraged the servants to treat them with contempt. In 1787, he went to St. John's College, Cambridge, and in 1791, he took his BA degree. Did you know that he considered becoming a lawyer and, incredibly, a clergyman, even though Wordsworth was opposed to the established church? And it was after a year of postgraduate work that he decided to go to France, where he could learn more about the language and customs of that country and become a tutor. Not many know that it was while he was in France that he was swept away by the French Revolution. When King Louis XVI was beheaded in January 1793, Wordsworth felt he had to defend the revolution and the reign of terror which followed outwardly, while inwardly his convictions started to change. His early poetry was unpopular with critics because of his support for the French Revolution, but one man in particular was struck by his work, a certain Samuel T. Coleridge. They met for the first time in Bristol in 1795, after which they began to correspond on a regular basis. Together, they started what we now know as the Romantic movement. Near the end of his life, he was welcomed everywhere as a celebrity. In 1850, following the death of his beloved daughter, Dorothy, he fell into a state of depression from which he could not recover. On April 23, 1850, he died at the age of 80. Let us look at some of his works. There are many works attributed to Wordsworth, but some of his more notable ones are the Lyrical Ballads, a collection of poems by Wordsworth and Coleridge which marked the beginning of the Romantic movement. The Prelude, a long poem in 14 books which trace Wordsworth's spiritual growth. Ode, Intimations of Immortality. In this, Wordsworth is concerned with the theme of memory and the passing of time. Tintern Abbey, a poem written in blank verse about memory, chiefly childhood memories, of communion with natural beauty. And of course, I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, or its more popular name, Daffodils. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er the vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. What are the principal themes in Wordsworth's works? The first theme is the beneficial influence of nature. Isn't this topical even today? Everyone knows, throughout Wordsworth's work, nature provides the ultimate good influence on the human mind. All manifestations of the natural world, from the highest mountain to the simplest flower, elicit noble, elevated thoughts and passionate emotions. Wordsworth repeatedly emphasizes that a good relationship with nature helps individuals connect to both the spiritual and the social worlds. How true. As Wordsworth explains in the prelude, a love of nature can lead to a love of humankind. In such poems as "The World is Too Much with Us" and "London, 1802", people become selfish and immoral when they distance themselves from nature by living in cities. The second theme is the power of the human mind. Not everyone knows, Wordsworth praised the power of the human mind. Using memory and imagination, individuals could overcome difficulty and pain. For instance, the speaker in "Lines Composed a Few Miles Above Tintern Abbey", 1798, relieves his loneliness with memories of nature, while the leech gatherer in "Resolution and Independence", 1807, perseveres happily in the face of poverty. The transformative powers of the mind are available to all, regardless of class or background. The third theme is the splendor of childhood. In Wordsworth's poetry, children have a strong connection with nature, one so strong that they appear to be part of the natural world, rather than the human social world. In fact, the speaker in "Ode, Intimations of Immortality" believes that children love nature because they have access to a divine, immortal world. As children grow, they lose this connection, but gain the ability to feel emotions, both good and bad. Through the power of the human mind, particularly memory, adults can remember their connection to the nature of their childhood and overcome pain and difficulties. The Romantic period had started. Thank you once again for your time and company. I hope to have the pleasure of your company in future editions of Hidden Literature, but for now, farewell.